Good evening, EagleNick audits. Now this evening I'm back down here at the Al Rollins Park. I just seen one of them vehicles that comes down here doing burnouts, but I did not get the live stream started in time to actually get it on live stream. I got me a bottle of cold water with me this time, a bottle of Kirkland purified water with minerals added for taste. Now, EagleNick always thought water just tastes like water. You know what I mean, Burn? Why would you have to add minerals to a bottle of water to make the water taste like water? That does not make any sense to EagleNick audits. How about you? We are just getting set up, and I brought old Snatchy with me this time, the phone that the Dalton Police Department Lieutenant Locke snatched out of my hand. That way I have a backup phone if I was to need it. You know what I mean, Vern? I might go ahead and power it on. We're going to get old Snatchy powered up. Now, I thought about trying to live stream on both of my YouTube channels at the same time, but old EagleNick has not been doing very much on his second YouTube channel. That it has just about died. Now it has over 1,000 subscribers. I think the last count was 1,070, but I have not been creating any new content for that second YouTube channel, so it is just about died. But EagleNick is just keeping it really as a backup if I need to move content from one channel to the other to keep it stored, using it for storage. Hello, Russia. How are you doing? EagleNick Audits here. Hey, glad to hear that. Glad to see you. Hello, Brett. How you doing, brother? Oh, EagleNick has old Snatchy with me this time, just getting it started up. Now, this is the phone that the Dalton Police Department Lieutenant Locke snatched out of my hand. I figured I'd bring me a backup in case I was to need it. I would actually have it with me. I'm going to go ahead and get it connected to the public Wi-Fi if I was to need it. All right, I now have successfully connected both phones to the public Wi-Fi. Now, of course, I have a lot of notifications that will be popping up on Snatchy because I have not been utilizing it very much lately. It has been just put up in a drawer in storage because the last time I tried to do a live stream with it, it only would live stream for about 30 minutes and then the phone would just cut off and cut back. Now, I never had no problems with it until Lieutenant Locke with the Dalton Police Department stole my phone out of my hand while him and the other Thin Blue Line gangbanger police officer was arresting EagleNick audits. Make America Great Again. Trump Vance 2024. I think I'm just going to try it out and just see what it would do if I try to live stream on both channels at one time. So y'all just bear with old EagleNick for just a second while I can see if I can get this Snatchy here live streaming on my second YouTube channel. Now this is my screensaver on Snatchy, my screen. Now I would like to thank my cousin for making all of my banners for my YouTube channel, all the different ones. I really appreciate you there, cuz. Yeah, it is a screen saver. It is a picture that is on the screen. You don't have to come in and make fun of me right off there. I might misspeak sometimes, and I might not know the proper way to say what it happens to be. It is actually the picture that is on the home screen. You know what I mean, Vern? I know what it is, but sometimes I talk without thinking. But I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? There's always somebody wanting to come up and say something about old EagleNick, but hey, that's all right. You give it your best shot. Well, you're a real tough cookie with a long history. But I'm EagleNick and it don't bother me, you see. Hit me with your best shot. Howdy, howdy. How is everybody? Hardy, har, har. How are you doing? So glad to see you. Yes, Hank. What do you think? Just so, in case you don't know, opinions are like ice hoes, everybody has one, but some people's just stink more than others. You know what I mean, Vern? This Wi-Fi connection ain't all that great. I'm trying to switch my phone over to Snatchy over to my second YouTube channel, and it does not want to let me switch over. There we go. We finally got it. We're going to give this here a trial run. This will be the first time EagleNick's ever did 2 live streams at one time. All right. Good evening. EagleNick Audits welcomes you, number 2, Snatchy phone. Now, I'm running 2 live streams at one time, one on EagleNick Audits and the other on the EagleNick. Trying something new for one time, you know what I mean, Vern? Getting them there notifications coming in from TikTok on phone number 2 here. You will see EagleNick is live on channel number 2. I figured it would just give it a trial run to see how it would work. Now, I do not really ever get anybody on the second YouTube channel because I only have 1,070 subscribers on the second channel. My original channel here, EagleNick Audits, has 6,569, I think it said at the last count. And if anybody happens to be new in the live stream, I would appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment on as many videos, shorts, and past live streams that you possibly could. And I asked if you also would please to let the ads play when you watch my shorts, my videos, and my live streams. That way, EagleNick Audits could receive a few pennies every day from YouTube, all because of the ads. EagleNick Audits has super thanks, super chats, super stickers, but I do not ask people for money. Now, I have had quite a few people to send EagleNick Audits super thanks or super stickers or super chats, and they are greatly appreciated, but EagleNick does not solicit. You know, I think that you all are the ones who are super. Well, what did he say, brother? He's also a moderator. Hello, Calgary. How are you doing? Now, I do not know what is going on here. I wasn't paying attention. I hope that everybody is okay. I did not really see what was said, what was hid, and why somebody was placed in timeout, but I trust my moderators. Well, yeah, there's a lot of ISIS actually come in here, you know, but EagleNick says it's okay. You know, a channel cannot just have people who like the channel. You also must allow the ones who cannot stand EagleNick all its guts to come into the live streams. Because I believe in free speech. But now when people goes to saying stuff that is offensive to others, EagleNick is all for showing them the door, if you know what I mean. Now, EagleNick does not mind what people says about me personally, but when they start talking about other people saying stuff that is disrespectful or hurtful or hateful or just to try to cause trouble, to stir up controversy. Now, EagleNick Audit says that I will not tolerate that, and neither will my moderators. That happens to be somebody that is learning somebody how to drive. They just ride around the parking lot because this is a public parking lot. You do not have to have a driver's license to learn how to drive in this parking lot. They set up them traffic cones sometimes to try to teach them how to parallel park. Now, the owner of the vehicle would be responsible if the person they are teaching to drive was to hit a parked vehicle or any pedestrians who happens to be walking throughout the park. Y'all bear with me, I'm sorry. Got one of them old damn cancer sticks going. Hello, Super. How you doing? Glad to see you again. We're back down here at the park one more time. I am over here in a different location than I normally am at. Now, it is the same location I did my live stream yesterday evening. You know, it's just crazy. That live stream that I did yesterday evening started at a little bit around this time yesterday, maybe just a little bit later. It took over 12 hours for that live stream to ever process and upload. Now, I did another live stream today between 12 and 2 o'clock. I do not remember the exact time, but it is still processing as we speak. So over 6 hours now that it has been processing, and as of yet, the last time I looked, it still had not processed. Now I'm going to try to this time to stay right here after the live stream is over to see if maybe that the live stream will process and upload. It looks like they're getting their confidence up. You can see that's going a little bit faster that time when they drove by. We got somebody over there standing outside their car, got their phone out. I don't know what's going on, but they've been standing there looking this way for a little bit, and then they turned around facing their phone. So they've been here ever since I got here, but hey, that's okay. You know what I mean, Bern? Good evening, Mr. Good Time. How are you doing? So glad to see you this evening. Now, I'm trying to be careful when I move the phone around. I do not want it to fall over and put any further cracks in the screen or cause me to cut off the live stream, because I finally just ended the live stream on the other phone on my second channel, because even after about 5 minutes, it had never showed anybody ever coming onto the live stream. That's what I was saying. I do not understand why the other YouTube channel, there is never anyone comes on to the live stream. I guess that is because I have neglected my second channel. I have been putting all my time and effort into my first and primary YouTube channel. I have not produced any new content on it in the past few months because I have been devoting all my time to my original YouTube channel, EagleNick Audits. And the rest of my time I have been devoting to checking out my subscriptions to make sure that I watch the channels that I subscribe to try to watch as many of their shorts and videos as I possibly can. And if I have not got around to your channel, I can assure you that I will. I have just been so busy here lately. I've not really did a whole lot of anything today because it rained all day. I did not go get breakfast, lunch, or dinner today because it was raining every time that it was time to go. But I figured that I would risk coming down here to the park again and hope that the storms would not roll back in so that I could try to get in a live stream to check in with everyone to see how everyone is doing. And maybe we might get lucky and there may be some more Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officers pull up out here in the parking lot like they did yesterday evening right as I was about to end the live stream. Now we got a big white Chevrolet pickup truck pulled in facing directly at EagleNick Audits. And if you can tell, they were double parked, taking up 2 spaces. Now they decided to move, and they're going to park over here to the side of EagleNick. So maybe they are watching my live stream. I do not know. And if you happen to be, I was not trying to cause any trouble. I was just wondering why they were parked looking directly at me. Now, if you saw my video I did of the Georgia State Patrol in the Brahmans Plaza North, when I first had pulled up and parked my bicycle and walked back down to start recording them, I was not doing a live stream. I walked over to the far left of the vehicle, and then I walked back over, but when I did, he turned his vehicle directly facing me because I'm sure he had me on his dash cam. And while I was still sitting there recording him, he had pulled all the way up the parking lot, and I had stated that it looked like that they were leaving, but in fact, they were pulling up directly facing my bicycle to have it on their dash cam. So I walked back up to where they were parked, car number 623 with the Georgia State Patrol. And when I got to where I was not directly in front of the car, when I'd moved to the far right, my far right, but his left, where I was recording the driver's side door area, if you watch the video, you would see that the Georgia State Patrol officer turned his car to keep me in direct line of view of his dash cam. Now, EagleNick stated while I was doing my recording that it did not bother me because I was only recording him in the performance of his duty. Now, I did not have any confrontation with the Georgia State Patrol. I have not had any confrontations or any contact with the Whitfield County Sheriff's Department. Now, I have had a gentleman, I assume is a gentleman, who has a YouTube handle that has the word chicken inside of it, who has been saying that I do not have a right to record in the courthouse. Well, I made sure to let them know that I had the video proof that I actually did record. And not only that, I did a live stream inside the courthouse. Now, he was throwing up court cases saying that the Supreme Court ruled or the courts ruled that you do not have the right to record in a courthouse. Now, I know you do not and are not allowed to film in a courtroom. Yeah, it was the front plate on the front of the Georgia State Patrol vehicle, number 623. Now, I had did a live stream up there at the Whitfield County Courthouse where that same vehicle, 623 and 624, were both parked there on the south side front of the courthouse. And they had came out, and I spoke to them and told them to have a blessed day. Now, neither one of them had anything to say that day, yet when I was recording car 623 in the performance of their duty while they were sitting facing the road monitoring traffic, they must have took offense and decided that they was going to do a little recording of their own of EagleNick audits. Now, to EagleNick, he could have sat right where he was and seen everything there was to see. I was not trying to hide anything. I was not wearing a disguise. I really do not know why he decided to go up and get a direct view of my bicycle, because I have featured my bicycle many times in my videos, my shorts, and my live streams. My bicycle is not stolen. It is not hot. It is not owed any money on to anybody. It does not have any liens placed on it, because EagleNick has never pawned the title on it, if you know what I mean. Well, Calgary, if you'll check out my channel a little better, you'll see I did record in the courthouse, and I also did live streams in the courthouse. Now, I did one live stream and started to go into Sheriff Scott Chipwood's office that is located within the courthouse, and it killed the internet, and it caused my live stream to not process, caused it not to upload at all, so that I had to delete it. But because it did, it made me mad, and I made sure, and I went back and I did another live stream from inside the courthouse. I have did a few videos inside the courthouse, actually. I recorded one video when I was going in to see the public defender's office. Now, I did not actually record the public defenders, even though it was my right to. I don't know why they split up. They both come here together, and he goes one way and she goes the other. It looks like that storm's fixing to roll back in, so I probably won't be able to stay down here very much longer. I don't want to get caught out in no storm. It hasn't been doing very much raining while the storm was happening, but there has been a lot of lightning. I don't want to get my bicycle wet and rust up my chain or the sprockets. That's one thing, but I dang sure do not want to get struck by lightning, because if that were to happen, you can about bet your bottom dollar that EagleNick would not be offered very much assistance. I'm right here. You ever seen any of them videos where they ask a police officer his name and badge number? He says, it's right here. I'm right here, same place I always am. Good chicken noodle soup. Now, if you're wondering why I have that there can of chicken noodle soup, I have my phone propped up on this here cream of mushroom. Now, neither can of soup is actually to eat. It is just to prop up my phone with. You know what I mean, Vern? Well, every courthouse has a rule you cannot record in the courtroom. You know, that would be at the judge's discretion about recording in the courtroom. But it's actually supposed to be within the United States that anywhere the public has access, you can record. Now, people tries to say you can't, but my videos and my live streams says otherwise. Well, policies cannot supersede the law, which is the United States Constitution. The United States Constitution is the law of the land, which is the law that all states are supposed to abide by. The Constitution says that Congress nor the states shall pass any laws that infringes or impedes the United States Constitution or the constitutional rights of the people of the United States. I have been wanting to go to a few other places to do some live streams, but every time that I was going to try to go, the weather has not been in cooperation, and I did not want to get out and get struck by lightning. And because I only have a bicycle to get around by, I have not been able to go out that much. That is why my live streams is usually at the Eagle's Nest or down here at the park. Now, I do have a driver's license. I am a licensed driver. Yeah, I do not own a vehicle because I had sold mine to my brother because I did not want to pay those exorbitant premiums, how they kept going up every single year. It just got too much for me. Now that wind is starting to blow just a little bit stronger coming out of the north, it feels like. And I feel a little bit of moisture in the air, but it's gotten a little bit darker back behind me, so I do believe we're fixing to get about a 10th round of storms for today. It's rained on and off all day. No, I do not actually read a lot about the law. I've actually been involved with the law too many times back in my younger days where I had my constitutional rights violated. But now I have did a lot of studying on the Constitution. Dang, that would suck there now. It does say inside before you go in the courtroom that if you try to record in the inside the courtroom that you could have your cell phone seized. But EagleNick has never received any problems from the Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officers who are right inside where you go in through the metal detectors when EagleNick was doing his recordings or live streams. You know, I never had any trouble whatsoever. I never had anyone say that I could not record or I could not do a live stream while I was there. I've only had comments from people saying, I really only have one person that said that I couldn't record in the courthouse, that I did not have the right in the courthouse. And that was some YouTube user who had the word chicken in their YouTube handle. And I do not know the exact spelling of their YouTube handle, but it did have chicken in it. It had a bunch of other stuff with it, so I couldn't remember all that. Well, those were actually the people that was in that red truck out there that was driving around. I believe the lady was learning to drive. The younger fella was probably her boyfriend, and the older fella was probably either his daddy or her daddy. We got a lot of them that's pulling up here and parking directly over to the right of my bicycle there. There is quite a few people that's came up into the park. There's about 20 vehicles down here now. Now, EagleNick has seen some pretty ladies out here walking around, and some of them not so pretty, you know what I mean? I'm going to try to keep an eye on the road out there. I'm trying to keep more of an eye on the road so that way everybody could get a clear view if there was to be any more of them county sheriff's department vehicles come pulling in. Oh, this doggone bench is getting rough. This old bench is getting real rough on the backside. The way it sits, it's starting to make my butt feel like a waffle. And it might actually look like a waffle too, you know what I mean, Burns? And I've got one of them there dingalings on my other phone over there. Hey, I wasn't saying nothing bad about them. Everybody needs somebody to love. They might be better looking than I thought because I really see them from a distance. I do not judge somebody on how they look or how they walk or how they talk anyway. Like I said, EagleNick does not sugarcoat. I might hurt some people's feelings. I'm not trying to. That wasn't my intention. That's one thing about having this other phone with me. I was able to look and see what time it is. It is 7:39. We've only been on the live stream for 47 minutes and 15 seconds. There is a lot of cicadas in the woods back behind me. How about I turn around, face the other way for a little bit, let y'all see. I'll show y'all how it looks back down through here. This walking trail goes over there to where the maintenance building is. You see right there, there's a little bridge where you walk across the bridge. Yeah, it is a beautiful park. Them cicadas is back there in that area. There's a creek that runs down through. It is a pretty good sized park. Now you see there is a lot of people down here. And I guarantee you, if I was to go up there, I could show you that public restrooms are not unlocked. So any of these people that was to have to use the bathroom, they would not be able to use the bathroom here at the park unless they went off over there in the edge of the woods. You know what I mean, Vern? Now, the bathroom's up yonder at the building you see there that is fenced in. I guarantee you those bathrooms are unlocked, yet they have a fence up around it. And those bathrooms are only used by the well-to-do when their kids are here playing ball on one of the 3 ball fields. You know, I just don't think it's right how they treat the poor public, your average, ordinary citizen that comes down here to use the park. They do not have access to a restroom. I mean, the city of Dalton does not have any porto toilets down here. No, I beg to differ on that about catching them big catfish with only cicadas. Now here in the South, we call them katydids. But now you take a bluegill or a big old shad minnow or any type of live bait and put it in the right spot, I guarantee you can get any type of catfish there is to bite it. Because if you would think about it for a minute, that is their natural bait, is the fish that happens to be inside the lake, the river, or the pond where they are. So naturally, they will bite the bait fish that they already have an ample supply of. Yeah, that's when you need a live bait. You know, you need a bait fish that's actually inside the water itself. You got to realize when it's real hot, when the water temperature warms up a whole lot, a fish's metabolism slows down. So what they eat takes a whole lot longer for it to digest and run its course through their body, so they do not have to eat as much. I mean, no way. They eat more when it's the water is just the right temperature, but when it's real hot, they bite slower. And when it's colder, when the water is real cold, their food doesn't digest as fast. That's why they don't eat as often. Yeah, I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, I didn't care what kind of fish it was. I loved to catch them big bluegill and brim and shell cracker. But hey, it really made my day when I could get one of them big largemouth bass to bite. I didn't never really care too much for catfish because most of the time when you're sitting fishing for a catfish, unless you get it when it first bites it, it's going to swallow your hook. And usually that's the end of your hook, you know, because I don't like to try to have to pull it up out inside of them and cause it to kill the fish. I would usually just cut the line off way down in there because the hook will eventually rust out. There was another one of them drive-bys. Now you see there's a big old giant parking lot out there. They didn't have to come all the way around to here, but they did. And you watch, they're going to go all the way around the outside out there. And there's only one person in the car. They're not actually learning to drive. They love you too, Steve. Glad to see you. It's getting close to being dark out here. It doesn't look like we're going to have any Whitfield County Sheriff's Department officers come by today. Now I'm fixing to have to be on my way before it gets dark or it was to start raining again. Try to turn it back around facing the road out there again. Yeah, I know I'm about to get trespassed again. Steve, that's a long way to go on my bicycle there, brother. Now, see, I said I was going to move my phone back out to the center there, and you see that little car that's riding around is parked directly in my line of view. Hey, glad to see you, Alan. I hope you all have a great night, too. I'm fixing to slide on up out of here. I figured I might let it go at least for a couple of more minutes. And I'll actually have to sit down. I think I'm actually going to sit down here for a little bit to see if this video might process and upload if I stay down here instead of moving. But you know, when I've been doing my live streams up there at the Eagle's Nest, the phone has not been tucked away from the internet connection. I wasn't doing anything on the phone, yet it would still take 12 hours for the live stream to process and upload. Now, I don't know why that it would do that, but just sometimes it takes a long time. It could be because of the way the weather was. You know, it was so cloudy, but my internet seemed to be working fine. You know, I have an excellent internet service provider with Spectrum Internet, and my cell phone service is through Spectrum Mobile. Now, when I was doing that live stream down here yesterday and got up there to where I was saying that the live stream would probably cut off, it did, but then my mobile internet kicked in and the live stream had resumed. That was the only reason I was able to finish the live stream up there around the Al Rollins Park Pond where the three gentlemen was fishing. EagleNick audits. I am EagleNick. How are you doing, Bad Seed? Oh, Steve, I'm watching out for fire ants, piss ants, crooked police, irate pedestrians, and everything else as far as that goes. I try to watch out for those race baiters and EagleNick haters and them scary, hairy trolls that wants to say they gonna come up and meet EagleNick face to face and that I would change my mind when we meet face to face. You know what I mean, Vern? But Georgia happens to be a stand your ground state. Well, I do not know if they were from Mexico. They could have been from Guatemala or El Salvador or San Salvador. I generally prefer to call them Hispanics because you never know which Hispanic speaking nation or Spanish speaking nation that they are actually from. Now, like I said, EagleNick Audits does not hate anybody any nationality or any race. Well, brother, I am not a felon. I do not own nor do I carry a firearm. Now, I carry a rod and reel. I'll snatch a hook in your ass in a heartbeat. You know what I mean, Vern? I do not have to have a firearm to stand my ground. A misdemeanor criminal trespass is still a misdemeanor, especially when it is an illegal arrest. Now, we got that little car that just left, come back again. You're fixing to see they're fixing to ride back by right here. Now, they had rode through here and they pulled out left, went up, turned left out there, and then they came back. Now, we got another one cruising by. Well, a felon cannot own or carry a firearm. That would be a violation until they actually get their rights back. You know, once you're convicted of a felony, that does not affect the rest of your life. After you serve out your sentence and you complete all the requirements that were made, after 5 years, even a felon can get all of their rights restored. You know, a computer will not never forgive you. Well, all I'm saying is the God's honest truth. There is more crooks wearing a firearm and wearing a badge. There are just as many of those as they are criminals out here wearing a gun or carrying a gun. Just because a police officer carries a gun and has a badge and has qualified immunity to hide behind does not mean that they are above the law. When it is caught the right way, they can lose that qualified immunity. Thank you, Super. That is the truth. I am not a felon. Yes, I was trespassed, or so they said. I was never served a trespass. I was arrested for a supposed trespass warrant that I was never served nor shown. But I had my Fourth Amendment rights violated and my 14th Amendment rights violated when those police officers came onto my property without a search warrant. Now, to come on private property, the police had to have a search warrant, not to just enter into your house because the property itself belongs to the property owners. Now, I want to clarify that when I say my property, I'm referring to the property that I co-own with all of my siblings. We all equally own the property, but the house that I live in happens to be my home. It is my residence. It is where I reside, but it is property that me and my siblings co-own together. There is not a one of us that owns any more of our family property than the other one does. And at no time when I have said my property was I implying that I own the property outright, singular or alone, as some of my family seems to try to tell other members of my family that I was implying in my videos or my live streams. You know what I mean, Vern? You know who you are if you happen to be watching. You know, there's some people, they can't enjoy all that they have because they worry about someone who has nothing, which is by their choice, because EagleNick has never been really materialistic to where I was seeking material possessions, because I know within my heart that if you own too many possessions, you do not possess them, they possess you, because that is all you will think about is what you got and what you need to do to go about to have even more possessions. You know, they want to make sure that they have more than anybody else. But the Bible says, for what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world, yet lose his own soul? Look how beautiful the sky is. You see, it's real beautiful in the center there. But the dark clouds is getting above me again. But far off to the east is a very beautiful patch of sky. I just felt a raindrop. Over here, you can see the American flag flying. Now, them cicadas is starting to kick up again back here. Let's see if I can walk down here and show you the creek. I'll put a few more raindrops. It is starting to rain. So after I show you the creek, I might have to end up ending my live stream. I don't want my bike to sit up there and get soaking wet. Yeah, it's cleared up here too, Brett, but it's starting to rain again. There's some rain starting to fall. Good evening. Now there's the little bridge. So that gentleman there just jogged by me. That's who I was saying good evening to. There's actually a little trail that goes here beside the creek out through here, but I wouldn't want to try to go out through there because there's probably a few snakes. I wouldn't want to get bit by one of them there snakes, you know what I mean? And I don't know if I've mentioned it yet again, but I'd said it earlier. It looks like I may have to end up getting me a lawyer because the public defender's office, I have not received any word from them at all since I went for my arraignment. I tried to get in contact with EagleNick. It does not look like that they are actually going to try to defend me. So I will have to be trying to come up with money for my own defense. Or maybe even have to try to defend myself. Now, there is a saying, a man has a fool for a lawyer when he represents himself. But unless I can come up with the money to hire a lawyer, that may be what I end up have to do. Now, I have placed a link to my Cash App account in the description on my YouTube channel. If anybody could and would like to, I would really appreciate any contributions to help with my legal defense if the public defender's office does not stand up for EagleNick when I go back on September the 16th. Then I have a second date for September the 30th that is all on the same paper. Now, I do not know why they would have two different dates on the same paper. Thank you so much, Brad. I really appreciate that, brother. That is so kind of you. Every little bit helps. You just don't realize it. It really does. And I hated to ask anybody for anything because y'all know I'd never ask people for money. The only thing I asked is people to let when they watch my shorts, my videos, and my past live streams, to let the ads play so that I could receive a little bit of money from YouTube because of the advertisers pays YouTube for placing those ads. Now that sort of looks like that big old pickup truck that one of them Dalton Police Department officers was in when they was up there by the pond. Now, the one that was in it that day was fully in uniform. That is super cool, Brett. But you know, when people let the ads play, I have the short feeds ads, the watch page ads, and I receive a few pennies when people let the ads play. Now, I will not receive any of it. I think except for once a month. So I still got a little less than 2 weeks before I will receive anything from YouTube. Even all of the supers that I have received from all of the people whom EagleNick audits thinks are the ones who are super. Now, my direct line of view has been blocked by a big old pickup truck to where I cannot see the road any longer. But as you can see, there is still many people pulling up into the parking lot. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I try to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. You know, the truth will set you free, and a lie will do nothing but cause you to have to tell more lies. If you tell one lie, you're going to have to tell another one to cover the other one up. You know what I mean? Well, everybody, I love you all, and it's about time I'm going to have to get on my bike there and head on up to the Eagle's Nest and get in before it was to start raining any worse. And I'll show you that I'm not just making it up. Look, there's a couple of puddles over here. Ow! I just hit my doggone leg on the side of that there table. You see the rain starting to hit the puddles? But like I said, I don't want to let my bicycle get wet and ruin my chain. But I really appreciate you all. I pray you all have a blessed evening. Take care of each other and make sure you take care of yourself. EagleNick. I am EagleNick, and I'm out.